All right, today I'm going to teach you about solving some percent increase and decrease problems. So please follow along on your note sheets and we'll solve these problems together. Solving percent increase and decrease problems involves using a formula to help you solve these. So the main part of the formula is the amount of change between two numbers or two prices over the original price or the original amount that something started at. So let's try some examples. All right, here's our first example problem. And I'll call these type of problems fixer-upper type problems. So example 1, Carlos bought a used motorcycle for $225. He fixed it up and sold it for $295. So what was the percent increase in the price of the motorcycle? So if we were just trying to find the amount of the increase, we would just take the larger number minus the smaller number, $295 minus $225, and say the price increased by $70. But really, this question at the end is asking not how much did it increase dollar-wise, but what was the percent increase in the price of the motorcycle, not just what was the increase in the price. So percent increase, that's the key. Those are the key words in the question. So we need to use this formula, and the formula is very simple. We need to figure out, to find the percent increase, is how much did the prices increase. So he bought the motorcycle for $225 and it increased to $295. So the first step is to figure out the amount of the change. So really we're going to look at the amount of the change in the prices. So, and we're just for the amount of the change, we take the bigger number minus the smaller number and put it over the original number or the number we started with, which would be $225. All right, I'm going to do that in the square right here. All right, so I figured out that the amount of change in the price was from $225 to $295. So how much did it change? Well, it actually increased by $70. So I took $295 minus $225, the bigger number minus the smaller number, and I found that it increased by $70. So $225 plus 70 would get me the bigger price. All right. So, and I put the number on the bottom. The original number was the price it started with. Carlos bought the motorcycle for $225. So I put that on the bottom. So the amount of the change in price was $70 over the price I started with, $225. All right. So now my second step is to convert this to a decimal. And I'm going to use top and bottom out. So on my calculator, I'm going to do 70 divided by 225. And I want you to do that also. All right, so 70 divided by 225 equals the decimal 31 hundredths, so 0.31. So that is my decimal. So I got it in fraction form. I filled in my formula, amount of the change, $70 over $225, the price I started with, and then I'm converting my fraction to a decimal. And now I'm going to convert my decimal to a percent. The last step is to convert it to a percent. All right, so to convert 31 hundredths to a percent, I could either on my calculator just multiply by 100, that moves the decimal over 2 places, or I could just move it over with my pencil, 1, 2, and the decimal ends up here, and then I add a percent sign. So this is really 31%. So my answer to my question, what was the percent increase in price? Well, it increased from $225 to $295. That's an increase of $70 over the original price of $225. So that is a 31% increase, and that is the answer to my question. All right, problem 2. And this is what I call a buy new and sell used type problem. So like you bought something and now you want to get rid of it, so you're selling it either on Craigslist or on eBay or something like that. All right, so we're going to use the same formula, the amount of change over the original number. So Cedric bought a new motorcycle for $450. After 10 years, he sold it to a friend for $145. What was the percent decrease in the price of the motorcycle? Now, if this question just asked us what was the decrease in the price of the motorcycle, we would just say it was a, let's see, 450 minus 145 is a $305 decrease, but it's not asking us that. So we can't just answer with a price. It's asking us what's the percent decrease. So we're going to solve it using the formula. We're going to put the amount of change in the price, so 450 minus 145, which of course is the 305, over the original price of 450. So I'm going to go ahead and fill that out, and then I can figure out what the percent decrease in the price will be. All right, so I filled in this box. So the amount of the change, so it went from $450 down to, and I sold it at $145, so it did decrease by $305. So that goes on top. And then what price did it start with? Well, it started at $450. That's the original price I bought it at. So that goes on the bottom. So what is the percent change? So it changed by $305 over the original price of $450. So I'm going to convert that to a decimal, then convert the decimal to a percent. All right, so I converted this fraction to a decimal by top and bottom out. 305 divided by 450 on my calculator is 0.677 or 0.68. I rounded it to the hundredths place, so I looked to the right, and that is 5 or above, so I rounded it to 0.68. All right, so now I just have to convert it to a percent. So 0.68, if I just so now I just want to change that to a percent by multiplying by 100 or moving the decimal 2 places to the right and adding the percent sign. So that would be 68%. All right. So to answer the question at the end, what was the percent decrease in the price? Well, it decreased by $305. And how much is that? What percent decrease is that? It's a 68% decrease. 305 divided by 450 would give us a 68% decrease in the price. Here's my third example. It's finding sales tax percent. So now the percent tax is missing, and we need to figure out what that is. All right, so if you were buying a shirt for $24 and paid $26.50 after sales tax was added, what was the tax rate? So here's what we bought the shirt for, $24. That was the price tag on the shirt. We went up to the register, they charged us tax, and our final price was $26.50. So what was the percent sales tax? We know from $24 to $26.50, that's a $2.50 increase. So what was our percent tax? What was the percent increase? So let's figure that out by filling the numbers into this formula. So stop the video and see if you can figure this one out. I'll actually start you off with the setup. So first, the shirt was $24 and it increased to $26.50. So what's the amount of change? I set that up in my formula here. How much did it change? Well, $26.50 minus 24 would give us the amount of change. And the original price of the shirt, it started at $24. So that is going to be on the bottom, the original price of the shirt. So this is a percent increase. How much did it increase? So see if you can figure out fill out the rest of the chart. All right, does your chart look like mine? So I subtracted $26.50 minus $24 and got a $2.50 increase because it went from $24 to $26.50. So I paid $2.50 more. So that's actually the tax I paid. And I put it over my original amount of 24. So I converted that to a decimal. $2.50 divided by 24 got me 0.104 or 104 thousandths. And then I rounded it to just two places. And then I converted the decimal to a percent. So I moved the decimal 2 places over and added the percent sign. And I got 10%. So my answer to my problem, what was the tax rate? It was a 10% tax because it increased my price by 10%. So my tax rate must have been a 10% tax. Oh, also, I wanted to point out that $2.50, the difference between the price of the shirt and the price I paid at the register, that was actually my sales tax. So $2.50 was my actual tax. And I just figured out, well, what percent is $2.50 of the $24? And that would have been a 10% tax rate. All right, example 4. This is our last example. And it has to do with finding a missing percent off or a sale price or a percent markdown. So the original price of a soccer ball was $26. It was marked down to $20. What was the percent decrease in price? In other words, was it marked down 25% off, 20% off, 15% off? That's the missing piece we're trying to find. So if we could find the difference in those two prices and put it over the original price of the soccer ball, we could find the percent that it was marked down, because when it's on sale, the price goes down. So let's see if we can fill in our chart or our formula. And why don't you pause the video and see if you can do this. All right, let's see if you got what I did. So the price started at $26 and was marked down to $20. So I'm going to put the amount of the change, 26 minus 20, on top of my formula over the original price it started at, $26. And I know this is a percent decrease problem because the price is decreasing. So how much was it marked off? What was the sale percent? So 26 minus 20 is 6. 6 over 26. So I'm going to change this fraction to a decimal by dividing top and bottom out. 6 divided by 26 gives me the decimal 0.230 or 230 thousandths, which I can just round to the hundredths place. So 23 hundredths is my decimal. Now I'm going to change that to a percent by moving the decimal 2 places over or multiplying by 100 on your calculator. 0.23 times 100 will give you 23, and then just add the percent sign. So 23%. So the sale price on our soccer ball was 23%. So $26 for the soccer ball. That was marked down 23%, and our new sale price was $20.